All right, welcome to week 15. For this week, now you've read everything you need to know about writing an informative speech and how to prepare your speech, how to organize your speech. So, you're going to take the last three chapters that you've been reading and you're actually going to apply them to one of your first official speeches. You'll do two of these. You'll do an informative and a persuasive. And this one is the informative speech. So, let me walk you through what this is going to look like. I have asked you to visit these guidelines, so you should be somewhat familiar with them. And I'm going to just kind of walk you through a little bit about what my expectations are. The speech should be 5 to 7 minutes in length. If you want to just record it all the way through, that's fine. If you're using some type of recording device where you can splice things together, you're more than welcome to do that. That's completely up to you. But the speech should be 5 to 7 minutes. It's an informative topic about something that you're sharing with us. You want to really keep in mind who your audience is. Your audience really is this class. Sometimes it's nice for you to take something that you maybe know a little bit of something about and you want to learn like a little bit more about it. Maybe you have a relative who has Down syndrome or somebody that you know has Alzheimer's and you'd like to maybe learn a little bit more about that. Maybe there's something that you've always wanted to do, such as skydiving, and you want to learn a little bit more about that. Keep in mind that your topic's probably going to be narrowed down. Remember, you're only doing a 5 to 7 minute speech. So the example I give in here is that you really couldn't do a speech about Hawaii, but you could pare it down to like a single island or something specific within Hawaii. I'm fine with humor and creativity. I think they work well if you have a lighthearted topic. Certainly, humor has a good spot in your speech. Just make sure that you kind of put a proper perspective on it, and remember that this is not stand-up comedy. This is an informative speech in which you are going to try to tell us something. You want to make sure that your topic is appropriate, that it can be covered in the right amount of time. The chapters that you have read up to this point really do walk you through that. Sometimes it's not always great to choose a speech that you are already an expert about, because you do have to have information that you're supporting in your research. And so if you know everything about the topic, it's hard to find extra research on that. But knowing something about it will certainly help your credibility. So think about the topic, and after thinking about the topic, try to decide in which way you're going to structure it. This information is all available for you on D2L to look at. Okay, so 5 to 7 minutes is the first key. The second key is that you must use at least 4 sources in the speech. You must cite each one of these sources in the speech. I have given you videos to watch on how to do citations. Also, the example videos that I have uploaded have citations in them that students are reading. So be aware of the fact that you must have at least 4 sources. I would encourage you to use newspapers, articles, magazines, peer-reviewed journals, books. Try to use a variety. Do not use all websites only. And keep in mind, you cannot use Wikipedia or any type of social media sites, Huffington Post, anything like that. They are not allowed to be used. So you need to use well-respected, well-known magazine articles, newspapers, journals, books, websites. You will also be including a works cited page if you are not familiar with MLA formatting. Purdue OWL is a great place to look. It's Purdue OWL. It stands for Online Writing Lab. And they can walk you through what an MLA cited paper should look like. And you're going to be including that with your outline. And I'll show you that in a moment. So not only do you have to have written citations, the works cited page, you also must actually cite your sources in your speech. Here's an example of internally citing your source in your speech. The first time you're naming your source, you're going to say the person, the source, and when it was published. And here's an example. According to Dr. Vincent Rainey in his book, Keeping Fit, published in 1996, it only takes 30 minutes of exercise 3 times a week to maintain good cardiovascular health. Now, keep in mind, the next time you refer to him, you can say, again, according to Dr. Rainey, you don't have to say all the rest of it over again, but you must do the full citation the first time. If there's no date, you need to indicate there's no date and then indicate the date that you actually accessed the site. So it'd say, according to Dr. Rainey in his book, Keeping Fit, no date that I accessed it on April 16th, 2023. It only takes 30 minutes of exercise. The video really helps you understand how to put the citations in there. So I will be looking for those. They must be in your speech. They must be verbally cited in your speech. So keep in mind, 5 to 7 minutes verbal citations in your speech. So you are required to use a visual aid. Typically, students will use a slide presentation. I did have one student that was on one of the examples that I gave you who was telling us about tarot cards, and she actually had tarot cards in the room. That's what she was using. But your textbook and the public speaking project videos both give you really good guidelines on how to do your presentation for that. You are going to be developing a full sentence outline that you will turn in the same time you turn in your speech. You can use note cards. You should not be reading from the speech. It is very obvious to me if you're giving a speech and you're reading from it versus if you've practiced with note cards. I'm going to show you an example speech that one of my students gave. She was really kind of had a fear for being up in front. So I told her that she could record up in front of the class. So I told her that she could record the speech, and you can see that she practiced it with her note cards. Again, 5 to 7 minutes in length. You'll be doing a self evaluation of your speech, and then you will also be peer editing or peer evaluating two of your peer speeches. And I'll talk about that in a minute. This is a formal presentation, so my expectation is that you will dress like you are giving a formal presentation. And then make sure you take a look at these guidelines. So the biggest things that I'm looking for are that you've kept it within the time limit, which shows that you've really taken some time to make sure that you've written that speech and have it focused. You're using in-text citations, you're completing a formal outline, and you do have some type of visual aids that you are using in your speech. It doesn't have to be a slide presentation. For example, if you're going to show us like the various different types of guitars, you happen to have a guitar collection and you're going to talk about how they're built and how they're put together, you might have those displayed out and you might just show us as you're giving the speech the different types of guitars. That's a visual aid. So you can certainly use that. Try to be as creative as possible. If you have questions for me or you'd like to know anything about a topic, please be sure to send me an email. I will try to get to it if I can. Just so you know, I will be out of town the 16th, 17th, and 18th. And I just won't have a lot of time to check my emails, but I'll try to check them as soon as I get back on the 19th. Okay, so this informative speech assignment is available for you on D2L. This is the evaluation form that I'm using as I am evaluating your speech. When I am watching your speech, this is what I'm looking for. These are all included in your textbook. So if you've read through the textbook and you've taken notes and you're aware of what it's supposed to be like, you should have no problem with any of these. I'm looking for a solid introduction, a body of the speech that's showing really good transitions. And remember, we talked a lot about that. There were several videos that talked about the importance of transitions, that you have good support, you've done verbal citations, your language is clear. Your conclusion is that you signal that you are concluding, typically by restating your thesis and reinforcing your main points. You're maintaining eye contact. It just means you're looking at the camera, right? That we can see that you are actually interacting with us and not looking down the whole time. You're using your voice well, you have good delivery, and then just sort of the overall evaluation of it, and that you have uploaded your outline and your submission along with your works cited page. So this is the piece of paper that I have in front of me when I'm evaluating your speech. So you can see exactly what it is that I'm looking for. A couple of other things I want to show you then also, you will be doing a peer evaluation. And that's what this looks like. You're just doing check marks and then you're identifying some things that you liked for the speaker. And then this is what your outline looks like. Your outline is available as a Microsoft document. So you can upload it as a Google Docs if you want, or type it into Microsoft and then upload it to me as a PDF is usually the easiest way to do that, in which you are filling all of this out. Your name, your topic, what pattern you're using. Like, are you using topical? Are you using chronological? What is the pattern? You're writing your purpose statement and your thesis statement. We've worked on both of those in previous chapters. And then this is what your attention getter or your introduction should have. So you're basically filling in all of these. So you could start by, just writing a paragraph here. What is your attention getter? What is your credibility? Why should we listen to you? And just kind of fill these things out. And then your body of the speech, you're listing your main points. This is just giving you examples of what you should be having in there. And then your conclusion. And then, of course, you're doing your Works Cited page. And then don't forget to include kind of in your speech to help you where you're going to be using your audio or visual. And this is the link then to the Purdue OWL if you aren't sure how to MLA format anything. Your Works Cited page can just be right here. You can just attach it onto this. So you'll be completing this document and uploading that when you are delivering your speech. And then finally, your journal assignment, which will come at the end of the week, will really just be your personal reflection on your speech. And that's already in the journal. So let's take a look at what your activities are for this particular week. This is what my expectation is. Number one, you're going to watch this lecture video. Number two, you're going to spend the majority of this week, Monday through Thursday, Wednesday, researching and writing your informative speech. That's all you need to do for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is find your sources, research your speech, find a topic. Hopefully you've already been thinking about that. And then you're going to be completing your formal outline and recording your speech on Thursday, making sure you have it uploaded by Thursday night, April 20th. And you're going to upload your speech in two spots. First of all, you're going to upload the completed speech to the assignment board that's actually located here under the assessments and then assignments. And then you're also going to be uploading it to the discussion. And I'll show you where all of that is, but these are all linked so you can link them there. Your speech and your formal outline. So number 3 is your formal outline. Number 4 is your speech. Are both due by Thursday, April 20th at 11:59. That's a day beyond when you normally do your discussions because I want to give you plenty of time to go ahead and get those speeches done. So you're going to upload your speech then to the assessment assignment area. In addition to that, it's going to go into the discussion board. There will be 2 other people in your group whose speeches will be uploaded at that time too. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, your assignment is to watch both those speeches in your discussion group. There'll be 3 people per group. So you'll upload your speech and then you'll watch the other 2 speeches in your group and then complete an informative peer evaluation form for your group members. That will be due on Sunday, April 23rd, as well as your journal. So you've got basically 3 things that are due on Thursday night, but one of them is the speech that is going in 2 different locations. And then you've got to finish everything by the end of the week. So the assignment for the speeches, we'll just go here under assignments. Your informative speech will get uploaded here, and then your outline will get uploaded here. And then you'll see under the discussions, I did reorder them, so it's easier to come by and see. Here's the informative speech peer evaluation. There are 7 groups. Whichever group that you are randomly placed in is the one that you'll upload your speech into. So that should be it for this week. Hopefully you shouldn't have any trouble with getting everything accomplished. Again, if you're wondering about any kind of particular speech topics and you want to ask me about them, just go ahead and do that. Shoot me an email and we'll see how things are going if you have any questions about anything. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing your speeches in a week. Have a great week.